Unfortunately, the depot has a number of concerns, which the IDA has been very clear about to all bidders that have expressed any interest. The depot is a New York State Superfund site due to the Army activities. It has limited electrical power infrastructure. Water availability and waste disposal are also potential concerns. The rails are generally 7 years old that are on the site, and the roads are also in generally poor condition. In spite of all that, the IDA had a number of successes. In the 20 years, the IDA has helped to bring in the Finger Lakes Technology Group, Hillside Family Agencies, 5 Points Correctional, the Regional Law Enforcement Center, TAG, and Western Ag, totaling 1,200 jobs and investment of millions of dollars in the county.
People like Hillside, Western Ag, Finger Lakes Technology, Finger Lakes Railway, how do we support them after the sale? How do we maintain access to those places after the sale? We went over the white deer, how do we best protect them?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had 2 comments regarding the IDA presentation. I heard numbers of $265,000 for maintenance, which included mowing, and then another $250,000 for wildlife management. I was under the impression that only mowing was being done for wildlife management within the depot, and I would like to know what the wildlife got for another $250,000. And as far as Mr. Kimes' comment about having too many acres in parks, one thing you forgot is that only Seneca County has the white deer. And I can tell you that if the white deer were in any other county, they would be glad to add acreage to their county or state park system. But now, because of technology, the depot and the white deer are no longer a local issue. The people of around the world want to come to Seneca County to spend their money to enjoy what many of you are taking for granted for all these years. So tonight, please consider your vote and consider it to be yes, because the world is watching Seneca County. Thank you.
It is imperative for Seneca County, the Finger Lakes region, and New York State to know that the world is watching, because there is an outcry from citizens around the world to save and protect them and their habitat, the Army Depot, by taking possession of the site from the IDA. Now, I'm here as a cheerleader, but I really must say to the IDA, man, you're a downer. Maybe it's Norton like I've never seen. And you want to know something? You have to have the vision. If you have the vision, you can make it happen. And that was then, and this is now, because it has gone global. People are going to be coming here like you've never seen. They are part of our national wildlife heritage. They belong to each and every one of us. And that means me.
If you doubt what a herd of wild animals can do for tourism, just Google elks in Pennsylvania, and you will be blown away like I was.
I am an Army veteran who was stationed at the Seneca Army Depot in the 1950s. I want to add my voice to the support of the Seneca White Deer's plan for the remaining land at the depot. During my tour of duty at the depot in 1956 to 1959, I was amazed and surprised by the wildlife I saw there. Most of it was for the first time in my life. I grew up in the state of Illinois, and in those days there weren't any white-tailed deer around. I want to tell you about 2 events that I will never forget. The first was to seeing a big buck come running across the field towards me. The road was a couple feet higher than the height of the field. When he jumped the road about 20 feet from me, he jumped from the field and crossed the road without touching the blacktop pavement. And I never knew that any animal could jump that distance. The other event was a walk through the woods to get to the restaurant for lunch, when we came upon hundreds of baby garter snakes. It is not often that you get to see something like that. Ever since events like that, I have a deep appreciation for the wildlife thriving in the natural habitat and ecosystem this land supports.
I believe the interests of the residents of Romulus and Varick need to be taken into account. And so I am recommending that both town supervisors be included on the bid review committee. I believe it is vitally important to safely archive all existing maps and blueprints of the depot for future reference. I believe that the historical cemetery on site needs to be preserved as well. I believe that an important catalyst for growth on the depot is to open both the road and the water mains. I believe that the IDA has a responsibility to inform the public of the outcome of the bidding process by holding a public meeting to announce the results.
And be it further resolved that if and when the county takes ownership of the depot, that the planning committee meet in a special session for the purpose of formulating a recommendation to the full board defining the formation and mission of an advisory committee on depot planning. And further be it resolved that the preservation of the white deer and conservation of their habitat serve as a primary consideration in all decisions regarding depot land use.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion here on the floor that's properly seconded by Mr. Lazaro.
It's for all intent and purposes a complete rewrite of the resolution that came out of committee. And I would, unless I can point out specifically, I mean, it really neuters the intent of the original resolution, and that is to turn over the property to this county board. I think that this resolution, in order to come before this board, should have to go through committee for consideration.
Why is that? Mr. Chairman?
Anybody else wish to speak? Yes,
This resolution wasn't a part of...
Yeah, thank you.
Supervisor Kaiser.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my understanding, and Mr. Fisher can confer, that this resolution, basically, this amendment would replace the body of the current, the resolution that's on the table. This motion, this amendment will basically amend the body of the resolution that we're at.
Portions of it, yes.
Right.
Okay, Mrs. Lawson.
We make amendments to resolutions all the time here. Yes, it did change it because what we are not then going to vote on the county taking this over, but it also includes in a resolution that the IDA will confirm with the Seneca County Board of Supervisors, and it also adds to this resolution that the white deer herd and the preservation of that will greatly be thought out throughout the process.
Which is very important to the town around.
So it is an amendment, but we do amendments all the time.
Supervisor Lazaro.
I agree with Mr. Churchill that it changes the intent of the resolution, and therefore I will not be voting for the amendment.
Thank you. Mr. Cronin, you wish to speak?
Yes, this basically guts the original resolution where this is strictly letting the IDA do its thing. And that wasn't the intent of the original resolution, to have the county, have the IDA turn it over to the county.
We are debating at this point in time strictly the amendment to the resolution.
Well, but it is essentially it's a new resolution. I mean, they constructed it that way. Nobody pointed out to me what whereas and resolve clause they've been changing here. They reintroduced an entire, and it's entitled entirely different. It's a different resolution. This did not come out of the planning committee.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask for a legal opinion on that? Is this an appropriate amendment to the resolution when it makes a new resolution?
I don't know as you can necessarily insist that it's a new resolution. It changes many of the portions of the other resolution, but it does not change all of it. And so that's why you're going to vote on it. You're going to vote on the amendment.
Well, it's certainly left in the part where we thank the IDA, but the rest of it is pretty much...
That's why we vote.
Well,
why we vote.
Well, but we're talking about procedure, and I'm arguing that this is not an amendment to the resolution. This is a new resolution, and I would like a solid ruling on that. I mean, where do you cross the line, Frank? The title's different.
I defer to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors votes. If the Board of Supervisors votes to approve the amendment, then it's the will of the Board of Supervisors.
Well, let's do this.
Those that are opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Roll call vote.
On the amendment, Mr. Supervisor Trout
Aye.
and Supervisor Garlic-Rossetti, did you second it?
Cindy second.
I did second it, yes. Am I voting now?
Yes.
Aye.
Supervisor Reynolds?
Yes.
Supervisor Wadums?
Yes.
Supervisor Davidson?
Yes.
Supervisor Proudy?
Yes.
Supervisor Kaiser?
Yes.
Supervisor Lazaro?
No.
Supervisor Churchill?
No.
Supervisor Cronenwetter?
No.
Supervisor McGreevy?
Okay, it was 447 votes aye, 261 nays, 42 absent. The amendment to the resolution is adopted.
That they could very well be part of a consortium of interests that could be put together where they could be part of the process. This does not negate that. This is not the end of the way here.
Supervisor Lorenzo.
Yeah, I won't be long with this, but I just want to piggyback off Supervisor Kaiser. This has been a very hot emotional issue for all of us. I think that the board is doing the right thing by voting as we did tonight. Well, we still have to vote. And anyone was able, any American that wanted to put a bid in was able to put a bid in. So for us to think that there's only one group that should have that right to put a bid in is very un-American. So I think that the bid process needs to play out, and this amendment allows this board to participate in the decision-making process. And this amendment also says that the white deer herd will be very much thought of.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor.
3 years that I've been honored to serve on this board, I have never received more emails, more messages, more phone calls about this resolution that Mr. Churchill originally read. To amend it to something that is clearly not the same resolution is wrong.
That's right.
I believe that
That's
every
right.
member of this board received the same messages that I did. As a public official for a long time in many areas, I believe that I have to listen to the people when they come at me in that many numbers. Tonight, if the amendment to this resolution is approved, I believe this board is not listening to the people of Seneca County, to the people of New York State.
Okay, thank you. Anybody? Yes, sir, Mr. Churchill.
The county, the people that, the board that represents the people of this county that are elected to take our shot at doing something with the depot. And we don't want to do that. We're going to trust the idea. And they didn't, you notice how they came around tonight, right? They didn't come around when we didn't have a resolution up before us, 3 months ago when they were doing their bid process. No, they didn't invite us to the table then, but they're coming around tonight. No, Cindy, don't even start, okay?
Yeah, I will. I have a right to speak to.
They come around tonight, and we're supposed to trust them, trust us. Well, what's wrong with trusting us, this board? What's wrong with this board? The people trust us. We got 500 emails in 1 week. I would totally disregard that. We're just going to leave it in the act. Read the language of this. The Seneca County IDA confide with and give considerable weight. What the heck does that mean? What does it mean? To the opinion of the Board of Supervisors. How many? The whole board? I mean, earlier what I heard is they're going to invite a couple people. This kind of says the whole board. I mean, shame on us. I'm ashamed to be on this board tonight. Shame on us. This is one of the biggest decisions we have before us. Shame on us.
Shame on you, Steve, for not coming to any of the IDA board meetings.
I was there last Thursday.
Yeah,
I was
you were there. Come
last
on, I'm
Thursday.
speaking.
I'm a working man. They have them during the day.
So much. But the thing is, you could have come to any of those meetings for the bid process and how it was decided, and you didn't come. Anybody that comes.
You trying to tell me they weren't in executive session?
Were you in executive session last night?
I walked in on executive session, but I've been asked to leave executive session right now.
That is not true. That is not true.
Supervisor Lazaro, you wish to speak?
I'm talking about board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Executive session.
I've always been concerned about this, and one of my constituents came up to me and asked me to ask a question. The IDA serves under our pleasure, and therefore, and we have a representative from this board who is an observation person on that board, but that has evolved into becoming a voting member of that board, which I think is a conflict of interest. So I'm going to ask, I had this question a while ago also, and I'm asking that our representative to that board either recuse herself from voting tonight or recuse herself from voting on the IDA.
I can answer that. You're talking about me, and I will not do that.
Cindy, let me go through the,
I'm just asking for, I don't expect an answer from the supervisor. I'm asking a legal question. I'm asking a question, is that legal?
Is what legal?
To vote on both boards.
To vote on both boards.
Yes. Provided
On the same issue.
provided for in Article 18A of the General Municipal Law, providing for IDA boards. So this is, the appointment of a county official is specifically provided for.
An elected county official, which the IDA,
Here
for the
again,
IDA, that the IDA serves under our pleasure.
if the statute, if the New York State Legislature had intended that it only referred to unelected officials, then it would have said that.
Okay,
County official means county official.
Thank you.
Handle things differently. We as a board found out it had this foisted on us only 2 weeks ago, and by a total surprise. And you, as a supervisor, sat here over many years now, always wanting more information, more time to deliberate, more time to digest the facts. And what I found here, we have a resolution before us tonight that you wanted acted on. We only knew about it 2 weeks ago, and you did not bother to ask our legal advisor's opinion on the legalities of what we would be opening ourselves up to as a county to take over that depot. You did not allow the county to do any research on what's involved. Tom Romulus did.
Frank, could you correct him?
Listen, I'm not.
Let Supervisor.
Tom Romulus did.
He's got to get his facts straight.
The town of Romulus did consult with our attorney because we were interested in taking it over for $1, so to speak. And before we acted rashly, as in tonight's attempt, we actually investigated legally what's involved. And we found out a lot of things that the county knew. When the county Board of Supervisors had our county attorney research, they would be scared too. Even some of you that might have voted tonight to support this resolution. Number two, the IDA, the Board of Supervisors has no place, in my opinion, to go to bat for one private entity over another. We owe it to the public to let this go out to bid. They might be the best show out there, and we have.
The other thing, Dave, here is I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to push any agenda. There's nothing in there that pushes anybody. It just says there's going to be an important vote. Get some information. Call your friends. Just get people involved. Boy, I apologize for being American and trying to get people involved. And I'll also tell you, though, standing up in front of the IGA down at Ovid and the Tops Market up here for hours at end, that just about 99% of the folks that went by were totally support of the county taking over the property. And I didn't say that. I said we have an opportunity here to secure the future of the white deer. That's what I was selling, and that's all I was selling. I wasn't telling them how we're going to do it, because I don't know how we're going to do it. I was pushing the planning process, that we sit down, get the right people to the table, and start planning. What's that say, David?
Who could disagree with this? I don't. I agree with 100%.
Well, then why did you challenge me? That's what I handed out.
Don't let the Seneca white deer disappear forever. Who would be opposed to that?
Well, so why are you criticizing me on
Your
that?
way is not the only way.
What way is that saying, David? What way is that saying? What are you talking about? You're talking through your freaking...
Right, here's what it says, Steve. This is what you're saying.
Right, that we asked to turn it over to the county so that we can begin a planning process. Why can't you read that and understand that?
Okay, thank you. Supervisor Cronwell.
Prices for maintenance and the cost the Army is generating to maintain that. Ray Charles can see they haven't spent $5. That's all I got.
Anybody else wish to get?
I call the question.
Okay, well, Supervisor Prodi hadn't had a chance to speak all night, so good night.
Why don't we, this is an important matter. It could be brought up in the fall on the ballot and let everybody vote the way they want.
Are you offering that as an amendment?
No.
I'll second it.
Okay,
I'm sorry, last name. Supervisor Wadums?
Yes.
Supervisor Davidson?
Yes.
Supervisor Proudy?
Yes.
Supervisor Kaiser?
Yes.
Supervisor Cronenwetter?
No.
Supervisor McGreevy?
Yes.
Supervisor Westfall?
no.
Supervisor Shipley?
Yes.
And Supervisor Trout?
Yes.
This one we just voted in?
As amended, so.
First like the last one. I got 447 ayes, 261 nays, 42 absent. The resolution as amended is adopted. I would like to call for a 5-minute break. That way, whoever wants to leave can leave. You guys